Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of the OPES Show. Before I bring to you our guest, I would like to take a moment and thank the following people: Ada, Nikita, Omkar, Sham, Netra, and my family. Because these people really helped me with their comments, their feedback, and their tips so that I can improve my content. So, a special thanks to you guys. And also, a special thanks to all the viewers out there who tuned in such overwhelming amounts for the very first episode because I was just so happy with all your support. So thanks a lot for that. And with that, I would like to take you into the second episode of this show. Today's guest is Harshvardhan Joshi, a 24-year-old IT engineer turned mountaineer who in 5 weeks will climb the highest peak on earth, Mount Everest. So in this episode, we will be talking about finding our passion, taking big risks. We're talking about crowdfunding, sponsorships, and a lot more. So if you actually want to skip to any one of those parts, you can go down in the description. We have the timestamps down there. But if you like to go along with us through the conversation, then feel free. Let me bring to you the man who, in this pandemic, finished the Ironman triathlon, Harshvardhan Joshi. So thanks a lot for coming onto the show, and I know you have a very busy schedule. I saw that you actually just went for a run, today morning and also. Thanks a lot for actually being on the show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to the listeners who are investing their valuable time in me. I hope that our conversation adds some value to their life and makes them go on a run.
Yes, absolutely. That's your goal, right? So that even one person who listens to it actually goes for a run. That's amazing.
Nothing makes me happier. It's my religion to make someone go for a run or walk every day.
That's brilliant. I'll be going for a run from tomorrow onwards. Anyways, so Harshvardhan, before we get into your story, I would like you to take some time off, like, 5 minutes, how much ever time you want, and just tell the viewers who you are, who exactly Harshvardhan Joshi is, and what is he trying to do.
So I am just another engineer, a
Okay.
millennial mountaineer from Vasai near Mumbai in India.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and now I am preparing to attempt the highest peak on earth, Mount Everest. Whenever I am not climbing mountains in the Himalayas, you will find me skiing in Kashmir or kayaking around Mumbai or camping or something else. I'm also passionate about few other stuff like sustainability, marketing, and I have cats. I cook my own food. I also grow some of my own food, and I'm not used to introducing myself usually. I'm just another common man trying to live an interesting life, but we'll know more in the podcast.
Absolutely. It is pretty interesting. In fact, you're trying to actually climb the Mount Everest. So, take us to the very start. When did you realize that, you want to do mountaineering and you want to climb the Everest? How did this all begin?
So I come from a very sedentary background.
Hmm.
I wasn't athletic during my childhood or even teenage, but when I started trekking in 2015, I whenever I get into something, I do it passionately. So when I got into trekking and mountaineering, I knew that I would climb Mount Everest someday, but I didn't know when or this time would come so soon. Because in an year or two or three, by 2016, I had realized that Everest is an expensive endeavor. Climbing the financial Everest is more difficult, and I thought maybe I won't have that 40, 50 lakh rupees for the next 10 years. But then after my engineering, I completed my engineering in 2017 from Mumbai University, and I was going to go for an MBA. When I decided that maybe I won't find time for Everest if I do my MBA, and MBA is almost equally expensive. So I would rather climb Everest, which can be my MBA, which will teach me a lot of life lessons as well as I would learn, it would be like a formal MBA while selling myself to raise those 50 lakh rupees or whatever is the expense. So that is how it started and evolved over the past few years, and I'm still on the journey enjoying it.
So you, like you said that you started trekking and mountaineering when you were in college,
Yeah, during my second year of
right? In the second year of engineering, and it's been almost say 5 to 6 years
18,
now.
19, yeah.
And what all have you done over the past 5 to 6 years that has actually led you to a point where now you're ready to climb the Mount Everest?
Uh, I so after every semester during engineering, I would spend 2 to 3, 4 months in the Himalayas, uh, doing a mountaineering course or testing my skills somewhere in Ladakh or Himachal or Uttarakhand somewhere. So I've done like 9 courses in outdoors and mountaineering just
Okay.
because as a student I had a lot of time. I had my passion for learning, and the courses are very affordable. They are heavily subsidized, so it's more about the time. So I
Hmm.
did those courses to learn more and more, upgrade myself, because your life is at stake on Everest, and I want to
Hmm.
give my best shot. Not just about the money, where a sort of my parents' house would be mortgaged, but I love my life the most. So it's not like I wasn't ready. I couldn't have climbed 3 years ago, but I still want to
Hmm.
prepare more, and there's nothing like you can over prepare for any mountaineering endeavor. But
Hmm.
now I feel confident that I can give my best, and there won't be any setback from my end. So I was supposed to go there in 2020 itself, but the pandemic had some surprises for us, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
decided to go there like 40 days from now. It's 20th February while we are recording this,
yeah.
and I'll be starting my endeavor on 1st April 2021.
It's almost 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less than 6 weeks now.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And so a lot of like students, people of our age especially, have this big struggle of figuring out what their passion is. Do you think there is a way you figure out what your passion is? Because you clearly have found it, so what would
No, no,
your
no,
suggestion
I
be?
never know. You never know. Maybe 5 years later, I would be like, no, I want to get into music, or I just want to
Hmm.
be a painter, or maybe a farmer. Or maybe a few years later, I would realize that no, actually, I enjoy skiing more, or kayaking more, or maybe skydiving, which I haven't even tried. I'm gonna learn paragliding uh, in a few months whenever
Yeah.
I find time. So, but I would just suggest that keep trying different stuff.
Hmm.
And for students, the main constraint is money. So don't let money stop you. And that doesn't mean that be a burden on your parents. So for those who think I am privileged, I started working when I was 15, and
Hmm.
even now, Everest, I'm sort of funding it myself with the help of many people like you all. But I did not let it stop me. I also come from a very humble background, and nor anyone in my family or even far off relatives have ever been even on a 1 hour trek. Neither they travel, but I started very late. Not like I started. So I was a studious kid. During school, I would get the first rank and get one pirated 30 rupees CD for my PlayStation 1 and then PlayStation 2. And
Yeah.
when I would tell my parents that I want to go play football or join that summer camp for football for 200 rupees, my parents would be like, why do you want to run under the sun the entire day? So this is how my background was.
Yeah.
And even as a teenager, I was doing what most engineers do. I was chasing a lot of materialistic goals. I was intoxicating myself, and everything which every engineer does, I pursued for a very long time. But
Yeah.
then I found this interesting, and the goals kept me motivated. One thing which I suggest everyone is that take one sport passionately, which takes care of your health for the rest of your life. So that would help you in every way, no matter which field you are. It would make you money, it would save you money, it would make you more efficient, happy, uh, and obviously health is wealth. So you would save money when you are already on the hospital bills.
Yeah.
Plus, if you pursue any sport in future, if you are already in a decent shape, it becomes slightly or way more easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so like obviously you need to take care of your health and all. But getting back to the question, as you said that you do not really know whether mountaineering will be a passion forever, but it currently is, you know, and
It
a
is,
lot of
yeah, it will
yeah,
be forever, but there is nothing like there can be just one passion
passion. Yeah,
all your life. Obviously,
exactly.
I also follow this thing that just do what you love and you won't have to work a day in your life.
Hmm.
But
Do you
it
think that?
cannot
Do you think that's a saying that holds true, or do you think it's all
yes,
bullshit?
it does. But
Okay.
then after a few years now, I also say that sometimes maybe it's not worth it. Like
Mm-hmm.
now, I feel the fear of missing out when all my friends are in the US, all my exes are in the US with $100,000 packages. So I can make that money even in India in my
Mm-hmm.
passion, but
True.
still it is difficult to find the balance between everything.
Yeah.
So don't go so deep and always have a plan B or plan C. So I since I started working since 15, I never have to do uh, have to worry about doing average, having that basic amount to pay bills and everything. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in mountaineering it gets stressful. Like what's next? What's next? Like as a creative field or as a very niche career, it doesn't have a straightforward pathway or
Yeah.
stable future or stable base anytime. So uh, that is very difficult. So now even I think that during the pandemic, when all my friends who were in the dream jobs, for example, who were in the
Mm.
dream jobs in Alaska and Patagonia or even Himalayas, Americans as well as Indians, when they all lost their jobs, I was like, do I want to work in this field forever? And also the businesses face losses and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but but still, I'm pursuing, and maybe even if I go back to a boring job, I would never work as an engineer. But just saying, if I would go back to any boring job, maybe in marketing or something, which I'm also passionate about,
Yeah.
uh, even then I will follow my passion and I'll make sure that I find time for everything. For example, now my
Mm-hmm.
plan is in the future, I would stay at one place, maybe a mountain town, maybe in Colorado or Switzerland or Manali or Ladakh or anywhere. I would train Monday to Friday and maybe work full time, do a boring job or do something else for money, maybe in my business. And on the weekends, I would go skiing with my kids and family or something. This is what I'm aiming for the future. So I
That's
will
cute.
still be a better mountaineer and
Yeah.
skier than most full-timers, so-called passionate trekkers
Passionate.
in India.
Exactly.
Because now I realize that at 25, even when I'm working so hard, being so dedicated, I will still never be as good as the Europeans who are 15, 16-year old, or even Canadians and Americans. Because and
Related to
they do
mountaineering, you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
mountaineering or anything, and
Mm-hmm.
they are not doing this full time. It's just
Okay.
that they had exposure earlier, and they are
Mm-hmm.
doing their boring jobs, making good amount of money, and still doing this every day after work or before work and on weekends. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to give up everything and get into it full time necessarily. Not that I'm
Yeah.
demotivating.
Mm-hmm.
But
You need to be
I have
careful.
good.
You need to be cautious about how you're planning it.
Yeah, and you should always have a financial base or backup first. So I don't encourage people dropping out and all those stuff. Like they are feel free to do that, but
Mm-hmm.
never be a burden on your parents or financially be dependent on anyone.
True. So the way you seeing it is, I have a passion, and obviously I need to earn a certain amount of money, pay my expenses and all. You're trying to mix it as well as possible, right?
I'm just saying that keep it sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But looking at your background, looking like you did a B Tech, you know. and then you were going to do an MBA. I think you've done an MBA. Have you?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. So I was going to go for an MBA. I
Okay.
appeared for CAT, CMAT, SNAP, MyCat,
Yeah,
CET.
yeah. All of these
I did
exams.
well in
Yeah.
some of them. I was gonna go to one of the premier B schools, but
Mm-hmm.
then everyone, all IIM graduates, MICA graduates, and my friends doing the so-called dream jobs with those
Mm-hmm.
30, 40 lakh packages told me that no, it's not worth it. Your life
Okay.
is much better in Himalayas. From what they see from my stories and everything, and they said no, do something in that. And if it's just about the money, then obviously you can make enough money anywhere. Like you will never make the amount of money in a job which you will make in entrepreneurship. So that's how I took the leap, and I was since then I am exploring different stuff.
That's
I
nice. That's
when
amazing.
the Everest project came in, so now I'm all into Everest.
Yeah. So you've picked up one goal and you're going all in for that.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I'm learning French since 2 years. I'm also
Okay.
getting a postgraduate diploma in marketing from an open university, which my parents don't even know about. So
Oh,
I'm still balancing everything, doing a lot of stuff. So you at our age we can reach out for a lot. So
true.
there are so
True.
many stuff which I plan to do. And now I have my exams in next 2 3 weeks before leaving for West. And I'll even appear for the exams without my family knowing that. Oh, PGDM bhi kar hai. And after coming back, also I have some plans. Like I'm writing a book, so I'll apply for some scholarships because I wanna
Nice.
live the student life again. So maybe I'll fly to US to pursue something in outdoors or anything which
That's
I
amazing.
feel if
That's
I
amazing,
pursue.
man. That's amazing. So, walk me through the whole process. You did your BTech. You were like every other Indian student. Did a BTech, was gonna do his MBA, had sat for his examinations, and then suddenly this whole awakening happened. Dawned upon you ki I do not want to do this. You spoke to a lot of people, took their advice, and decided that yeah, MBA is not the right path. But for parents, Indian parents, that is something, that is your safety net. That is something that you should do regardless of what your passion is. So how did you convince your parents ki, I have given the examination right now, but I don't want to do MBA. I want to consider this mountaineering thing, and I want to do this right now and skip the MBA process.
So, very good question. First thing I would like to start with is that it did not happen suddenly. So
Hmm.
there was no sudden realization, and it was a long process.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was even telling someone else earlier today that there is no that eureka moment or anything, even when you go in the mountains. But every trip evolves you. So
Okay.
during my second, third year of engineering, even I had the same dream which most engineers have, MS in US, because for a middle class family in India, that's the easiest way to aim for a better life.
Yeah.
To go to US on education loan, get a MS, and get that $100,000 annual package and get in that race. And then
Yeah.
I thought ki after one or two Himalayan trips, I realized कि no, coding तो नहीं करना है, tech में तो काम नहीं करना है. So I was like, okay, I'll balance mountaineering, take time for that, and I'll study MBA in marketing, and maybe I'll be a brand manager for one of the outdoor brands someday. तो
Okay.
फिर जब मैंने entrances दिए थे, so it was never that clear picture. It's not even today.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
took the right decision. I'm very happy, and everyone else also reminds me, "Hey, तूने किया होता तो आज क्या हालत है." But it's like I still want everything. Like grass is greener on the other side, so
Hmm.
I still feel the fear of missing out. लेकिन अभी ऐसा है कि मैं कभी भी कर सकता हूँ, and I have learned much more. So many
Yeah.
of my friends, my network is also very strong. So वो मुझे बोलते कि नहीं नहीं, I will give you the same package if you come work with us and stuff.
That's nice.
So,
Okay.
but abhi bhi, and now I have more realization, so I would do something else, something more. But I won't say कि ऐसा मत करो. लेकिन वो time पे तो मेरा भी यही thought process था कि I would do that MBA from, let's say, Goa Institute of Management, or I was gonna go to Symbiosis or Welling KJ Somaya or something,
Hmm.
or some corner MBA, some lower corner IM, or
Hmm. Hmm.
Micah was one of my dream colleges. So uh, when I was thinking in that process, I was thinking कि हाँ MBA कर लेता हूँ for security. Then I वो फिर क्या होगा कि वो एक average package तो है, तो दुनिया बोलेगी कि अरे एक बार करके देख ले MBA किया है तो फिर मैं वो
Uh,
15-20 लाख पैकेज लूँ. तो मैं फिर वो 6 महीने में क्विट करने की सोचूंगा बट कभी कर नहीं पाऊंगा. एंड जो मुझे फार्मर बनना है उसके पीछे सिक्योरिटी इतना करते जाओ फिर लगेगा कि अरे एक इंक्रीमेंट कर लेता हूँ. एंड व्हेन आई वाज गेटिंग इनटू
mm-hmm.
दैट आई सॉ फीस itself is like 18-20 lakhs for a PGDM or
MBA.
MBA.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, it's not worth it, and I can invest the same amount of money and time in Everest, and that will teach
Interesting.
me a lot. So
And what about
it's
parents? How did you convince your parents for this?
fortunately my parents were always very supportive. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, जो करना है करो हमसे पैसा मत मांगना. And so they
I
in
see.
fact मेरी mom जब मैं हिमालयस में ट्रायल करता था बोलते बेटा जो यूट्यूबर क्यों नहीं बन जाता. मैं बोल रहा इतना आसान नहीं है and that's not my calling. I'm
Yeah.
happy captured with the eyes. But so since I was working since I was 15, I was always responsible, independent. So they couldn't stop me and they were happy कि do whatever you want. Engineering के लिए भी they did not push me. It was my decision. And even
Mm-hmm.
for MBA, it was me who wanted to do it. And if I didn't want to do it, they did not tell me anything or stop me. In fact, they encouraged me कि go start something in the Himalayas if you want. We will try in our power for any investments or anything, which I didn't need. But they were
Mm-hmm.
always supportive that way. Even today, they are very happy and proud. They be like, do whatever you want, just be happy and take care of your expensive passions. Just be stable enough to fund them. So I was never worried about doing that average thing of paying the
Hmm.
bills.
You're lucky to have such parents, man, who are so supportive. I mean, I can
Yeah, no,
imagine a lot of students who are already pushed into engineering who do not want to do engineering and then pushed into
yeah,
MBA.
but in
Yeah.
that case, yeah, so maybe I'm lucky, but
Hmm.
I think luck is not the right word because my parents did not know anything about outdoors. Like I think
Hmm.
I just told no one from my family has done anything except
Yeah.
job, not even. But I gained their trust over the years. I trained them. Like even now when I'm going to Everest, since past 1 year, I watch some documentaries with them during dinner. So now they know कि कैंप 3 से अच्छा तो ऑक्सीजन यूज करेगा ये तेरा शेरपा होगा अच्छा बेस कैंप पहुंचने में 8 दिन लगेगा. They
Nice.
know and they
Yeah.
see my hard work, they see my stories on social media, so it gains their trust. They know that I'm responsible, so they never have to worry about anything, especially
Absolutely.
my
Yeah.
वो मैंने पिछले भी इतने साल की they knew that I never gave them any stress about it or they never had to come to rescue me or support me or send
Hmm.
money either.
So it's very
So
important that you're independent if you want to follow one of your
yeah,
passions and
so
to
जो भी
ensure
ये
that your
समाज
parents know about this.
में
Yeah.
या सो पेरेंट्स जो भी बोलते हैं ना अलाउ नहीं करते वो तो हर जगह रहता है यार. उनको एक्सपोजर नहीं है, उनको पता
Yeah.
नहीं है. वो हमारा काम है एजुकेट करना. मतलब मैं भी आज भी करता हूँ और नहीं हो तो इतना पावरफुल बनो कि आप वो सब इग्नोर कर पाओ एंड दे कैन नॉट स्टॉप इट. So
That's
maybe
nice.
you are so a lot of people are doing this at the age of 30-35, especially for
Hmm.
girls. Sometimes they did not get permission and also it's okay. Take your time. In India, as a student, it is also difficult to make money and be
Yeah.
independent. But now it is
True.
also easier with the internet age and everything. There are tons of ways to make money. You just have to keep reading a lot, keep
Hmm.
trying a lot, doing a lot. Like
And
मैंने
that's
भी मेरी
yeah, no.
continue.
I think that's a very interesting point that you put up because that's a very good segue. Using the internet to your advantage because that's something that I see you have done, and all the resources that you have available, you have used them to the maximum to ensure that you are
But
able to,
I'm not
you know,
I'm not doing max. So if you see, I hardly post content like post.
yeah,
I do hardly once a week. I'm never doing any YouTube videos
yeah,
or
yeah,
TikTok.
because yeah, you aren't a content creator, but you are going to embark on a journey for the Mount Everest, and you need a certain amount of funding, you need a certain amount of support, sponsorships for kits, and all of that stuff. And you've
I
used
will
the internet
definitely
to,
do. average, I'm doing better than most average, but
Mm-hmm.
still I am doing at the most just 20% of my efficiency, because I
I
know
see.
how much I waste every day still. Although I also work very hard, but I'm not so disciplined when it comes to sitting in front of the desk and everything. I sit
Mm-hmm.
5 to 8, but
Yeah, yeah.
फिर भी मैं बी हार्ड ऑन माई सेल्फ दैट वे। तो लेकिन कुछ लोग करते हैं तो जिसे करना है, एंड जस्ट सो दैट पीपल कैन रिलेट। मैंने मैंने आज भी मतलब 2 साल पहले, 1 साल पहले भी शायद ड्राइवर का भी काम किया होगा कि एक दिन मैं फ्री में या 1000 रुपए के लिए किसी के लिए ड्राइव कर रहा हूँ। मैं जब इंजीनियरिंग में था, वो भी ज्यादा नहीं, 6-7 साल पहले, जब मुझे
Mm-hmm.
पहली बार बस MS इन यूएस का एक फेसबुक ग्रुप था, स्टूपिड
Uh-huh.
शिट नाम के, एक एजुकेशनल वेबसाइट का। तो उसमें देखता था सब इंटर्नशिप करते थे। तो मैंने
Uh-huh.
डीमार्ट और सीसीडी जाके पूछा था इधर इंटर्नशिप मिलेगा क्या। तो आई ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड वेरी वेरी हम्बली, बट एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर टेकिंग एनी स्टेप्स एंड मूविंग फर्दर। इवन टुडे आई एम वेरी कंफ्यूज्ड एवरी नाइट बिफोर गोइंग टू स्लीप। आई थिंक अरे एवरेस्ट के बाद करियर का क्या, एवरेस्ट इज जस्ट अ स्टेपिंग स्टोन
Mm-hmm.
इवन इन टर्म्स, but I'm always thriving for more. So wherever you are today in your third, fourth year of engineering, or even at my age, 25, I think you should just keep on trying new stuff. If you don't have money, still you can at least take care of your health and be athletic, because for running you don't need money. और मुझे तो जो भी बोलता है, I run barefoot, तो कुछ खर्चा ही नहीं है। I actually tell people, वो बोलते हैं
Mm-hmm.
अरे मेरे पास रनिंग शूज नहीं है, जिम मेंबरशिप नहीं है, तो मैं बोलता हूँ कि तुझे इतना, अगर इफ ओनली दैट थिंग इज स्टॉपिंग यू, then I'll buy you a shoe or I'll get you a membership. But actually, to be honest, you don't need it. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you
You
take
need
the
a will,
first.
first step. That's true. That's true. So, back to the question, you decided to, embark on an expedition for Mount Everest, and now you knew you had like a huge task in front of you, getting the funding, getting the sponsorship, you know, and obviously I found you through LinkedIn, so you're doing a fabulous job over there for sure. Like we have zero mutual connections, but suddenly you came and you popped in front of me, so you're gathering attention from these people and you're telling your story to them, you know, and you are creating this impact where people are moved by a story, they are inspired, and now they want to help you move ahead. So tell us about how you did that, because from what I see, there's a lot of structure in your approach. Abhi Mount Everest climb karna hai, you do not have funding, now you need to figure out how to get funding, and then you figured a way out to move in that direction. So you've actually moved from a dream which a lot of students have to something that is actually gonna happen in 6 weeks. Yeah. So how did you bridge this gap? How did you connect these dots?
I'm humbled by your words, but I firstly I don't remember how I added you, and secondly there is no structure. I think I'm uh, just putting in work कि जब जब
Hmm.
time मिला कुछ करो। जैसे LinkedIn पे
And
भी मैं ज़्यादा post नहीं करता, but whatever I do, I make sure that it is something which is adding value. तो मैंने
okay.
कभी भी spam नहीं किया, cold calling नहीं किया। Even today, though I need the money, and I have numbers of some of the very influential and powerful people who have the money and they are throwing money at marketing, who can fund me, but still I'll never cold call them. So I was always very professional about my communications. I was always very empathetic, ki value opposite person's time. I still don't meet people in person or call them without
Hmm.
any permission or anything, even though. And I think I learned a lot on the journey. Like even today, I am becoming much more efficient. Let's say to my pitch deck, I got some feedback from one person 1 week ago, which no
Hmm.
one else gave me in past 2 years from the 500
Hmm.
people who must have seen my pitch deck. And
Okay.
that took me way ahead. This is just an example which happened.
Hmm.
So I'm still learning, but taking the first step is the most difficult. I feel fortunate कि I have helped people with their fundraising for climbing Everest, और उन्होंने 2-2 साल में सिर्फ 3 लाख या 2 लाख जमा किया है, और वो चढ़ के भी आ गए, और आज भी वो अपना 25 लाख का घर का लोन क्लियर कर रहे हैं जो उन्होंने एवरेस्ट के लिए लिया। वो हिसाब से आई हैव डन प्रिटी वेल कि आई हैव रेज्ड over 19 lakh via crowdfunding in a very short time and without
Hmm.
asking much. So I believe in just keep putting in the work, and don't think about results. It will you will feel demotivated a lot of times. जैसे मेरा बीच में 8 8 महीने तक 1 रुपया भी नहीं आया, बट
Hmm.
अपना काम कर और ऑलवेज हैव अ बैकअप प्लान. तो मैंने तो सोचा है ना कि मैं एवरेस्ट जाने ही वाला हूँ, अगर ऐसे नहीं हुआ तो मैं लोन लूंगा एंड आई एम गोना क्लाइंब. So people also see, then people see the credibility which comes
Hmm.
from our social media and PR and everything. Then people see your efforts and investments. So they see my training wherever anytime. So they see me running or swimming every day. Like even today, I did my run in the morning around 9
Hmm.
8.5 kilometers. Then I made my breakfast. Then I did another podcast. Then I did some other work and lunch, and now I'm talking to you. Even after this, I'll do something or the other. So I put some of it on my stories, which people see, and I'm always happy to ask. I'm not shy to ask, but I ask in a polite way, which is not desperate, which
Hmm.
doesn't put me in an uncomfortable situation. But there is no structure. Like I cannot give a golden advice to someone. I'll just say that get in the pool and you will learn on your own. मतलब मुझे भी काफी लोगों से मैंने फीडबैक लिया, एक एक जन
Hmm.
से पूछा, आज भी पूछा. नाउ आई थिंक कि मेरे एवरेस्ट के लिए तो द एक्सपेंस इज अबाउट 51 लाख रुपीज एंड आई हैव
Hmm.
रेज्ड ओवर 33 lakhs as of today. Maybe in next 10 days I'll have another 10 lakhs or maybe I'll have zero. But next time
Amazing.
मैं पहाड़ जाऊंगा ना, या अगर let's say you are going or any of my friend is going and I have to fundraise for them, then I can definitely raise over 3 to 5 crores, because the learnings which I have from my journey can be encashed over there. Now, so
Exactly.
and 2 years ago I didn't know if I would raise even 2 lakh rupees. But तो ये सिर्फ क्राउड फंडिंग से नहीं हुआ, हर जगह से हो रहा है. अभी जैसे क्राउड फंडिंग में तो मैं ज्यादा मांग भी नहीं रहा. If people
Hmm.
feel inspired or motivated, I just send people to my website, and if they feel motivated, they donate. So make your website or pitch deck so good. My website is very simple and it's not updated since 2 years, but it is
Hmm.
still explanatory, that it gives them the information, that why, how, who, and how much, and why that much. So that is enough. And that is not in my hand, but at least the training is in my hand. So I
You'll
should
train.
be, yeah,
That's
because
nice.
my
That's
life
nice.
is on that.
That's amazing. So you're saying that you did not fund a majority of it from crowdfunding. Okay. So what is
No, 50% of it, let's say.
50% of it from crowdfunding?
Hmm,
Yeah. And how did you fund the rest of it? Like, what was your process for that?
sponsorships.
Hmm?
Sponsorships.
Sponsorships.
Sponsorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Give
nice.
the brand much more than what they are investing in you. Let's say one of my sponsors is for 15 lakh rupees. So they are
Hmm.
getting stuff for at least 50 lakh rupees. That's why they are very happy to do it in 15 lakh. And the best example is I have never met them. I have never been on a Zoom call with them. It's just
Hmm.
2 3 emails, 2 phone calls, and the deal was done.
That's
And
amazing.
our agreement is signed. The amount is credited and everything is good. So that is how efficient and good you should be with your communications and gain their trust. So
And you think, and this is on the base of the credibility that you built through your Instagram, talking about your workouts, talking about how dedicated you are, your website, obviously, which in short tells everything about you and further builds that credibility, and all this branding and communication that you have done on the basis of which you are able to back these
so
sponsorships, right?
I think Instagram is not like among the top 5 when it comes to credibility.
Okay.
Uh, Yeah, but just a Google search or the information which I put on the pitch deck. So I make
Hmm.
sure that whenever anyone who Googles me, I know what they are going to see about me. So that is in your
Hmm.
hand what you are putting out there.
True.
And yeah, website makes a difference, but even website. So for example, if you make a website for your business, it's not
Hmm.
going to get you new customers or anything, uh, even for your YouTube channel. But the existing customers, they might see that and get more motivated to invest in you. They might get converted. So even for my crowdfunding, if you see, I do not have more than 130 or 120 donors. But in that 120 donors, I raised that 19 lakh rupees. And even in that, there are people donating as less as 500 rupees as well. I gave
Yeah,
everyone the
yeah.
same respect, whether they are donating 500 or whether they are donating 4 lakh, 5 lakh rupees. Even they know that, because that 500 might be a lot for someone else, more worth than it is to 2 lakh for someone. So
Hmm.
that is one thing. And there is no structure, I think. मतलब मैंने भी क्राउड फंडिंग के लिए इतने लोगों को पूछा कि how did you do it. Some of my friends crowd funded 10 lakh to go to Antarctica. Many of my friends have done Everest and everything, but most of them were not this successful. Some of them were, but still there is no golden rule, and no one can
I see.
teach you that. I have friends who are very big in marketing, advertising. I thought they would do the job for me, make it much easier, but it never happens. You have to be the warrior on your journey yourself, and no one has the time for it. Even if they can, no one can tell your story better than you.
Absolutely. That's right.
So
No one
about
can tell this story
credibility,
better
I
than
meant
you.
that I have a lot of PR coverage, fortunately, and I
Hmm,
didn't have
hmm,
a
hmm.
single rupee to invest in it to
In
get that
PR.
credibility. But I wrote 1,000 emails, and out of that, let's say,
Tell me more. Tell me more about this 1,000 emails, because that's a lot. People write 3 to 4 emails and then they stop. Right. So you
no.
wrote.
So when you are applying for, I was always, I had that in mind. Ki, even for sponsorship, ki
Hmm,
I
hmm,
would, or maybe if someday if I'm searching for a job, I know
hmm,
that
hmm,
I would at 1,000 places, I would get 50 replies, 20 meetings, 4 offers, and one might get converted. So same goes with sponsorship. With sponsorship as well, that with time you get much more efficient. So now it is
hmm,
like
hmm,
I write maybe 100 emails and I get after a follow-up I get 20 replies. Otherwise I get 5 replies. But in that 20 replies, or in that 20 replies, I get at least 6 7 people taking it very seriously, then negotiating and everything.
hmm,
This is about the sponsorship. And about
hmm,
PR, I haven't told this in any other podcast, but it's a golden tip. I'm just giving it out, like how simple it is to help everyone, that
sure.
I would read the news or newspaper ki okay, this article has come. I would look up that journalist. Sometimes the email is mentioned, and I won't get into too much information, but I would hunt them down. First do their profiling, then hunt them down, then write them an email that hey, I read your work and I really appreciate it, and this is so and so my journey. Would you be interested in covering me and helping me reach out to more people? So I was always very honest that this is to help me. And
Hmm,
in that, out of 1,000 I got 50 replies. So once I had some issues with one of my social media pages, which was going to get deleted due to credibility, and I thought
hmm,
I
hmm,
have never done paid PR, nor I want to do it, and I don't have the money for it. So I thought what can I do. So मैंने सोचा कि मैं भाग सकता हूँ, और फिर मैं वो आयरन मैन किया, which which got some attention, and it helped me. It saved my that page. I
hmm,
won't
hmm.
mention which one. It also helped in future. So even after that Iron Man, it was not covered by any news channels for a month actually. Just one small online medium covered it. But बाद में जब उन्होंने cover किया, तब मेरे सब दोस्त आके बोले wow wow wow. So you need that credibility. If I didn't have that, then maybe my effort is not as great for them. But so ऐसे हर एक चीज करते रहना पड़ता है. Most people start complaining कि अरे मुझे result नहीं मिल रहे, मुझे कोई सपोर्ट नहीं मिल रहा है, पैसा नहीं आ रहा है. आज भी पूरी दुनिया रोती रहती है, माउंटेनियर्स भी रोते रहते हैं, बट दे डोंट नो कि ब्रांड्स तो पैसा देना चाहते हैं, बट वो इतने आसानी से नहीं देते. बट दे नीड दैट ट्रस्ट, दे नीड टू नो दैट यू आर दैट प्रोफेशनल. You need to be able to sell. So even today I am not able to convert most of them, but that is my shortcoming, because I am alone and I am not like I don't have a team. Whereas they don't want to give you that 10 lakh rupees to take their flag. They are ready to give 2 crores, but they want a team selling them the idea and a creative agency with the story and campaign designed around it. So until and unless you can do all of that, and nobody is gonna do that for you. even if
Hmm.
it is a great story, it's a great campaign. So you need to keep hustling, keep building yourself and everything. And मैं तो ऐसा हूँ कि मेरा सपना था 2020 में एवरेस्ट क्लाइंब करके जून में इंस्टाग्राम फेसबुक सब डिलीट करूँ. मैंने डिलीट भी किया था
Oh,
लॉकडाउन
okay.
में. आई वांट
All
टू लिव
right.
पीस लाइक अ कॉमन मैन. बट अभी वो 1 साल पुश हो गया तो मैंने बोला अभी करना
करते
पड़ेगा फंड
रहते हैं.
रेजिंग कार के लिए. बट ऐसा मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म गोल नहीं है बिकॉज इट नेवर गेट्स इजी है. लोगों को लगता है कि ये होने के बाद इजी होगा. जैसे कि ब्लू
Hmm.
टिक के लिए लोग काफी तड़पते, दे देंगे कि उसके बाद पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा, कि लड़की मिलेगी, पैसा मिलेगा या शायद शादी हो जाएगी, लेकिन कुछ नहीं होता है. मतलब मैं तो लोगों को सामने से डीएम करता रहता हूँ. मैं मतलब वो खुश हो जाते हैं, अरे
ये
ब्लू
ब्लू
टिक का
टिक
मिला.
वाला ने डीएम किया.
मैं
आई
तो
गेट
सामने
इट.
से आवाज को और वो लोग शॉक हो जाते हैं बिकॉज मैं रैंडमली मेरे जो भी स्टोरी देखते हैं मैं उनको डीएम करता हूँ, हाउ आर यू डूइंग, बिकॉज आई वांट टू कनेक्ट विद पीपल एंड आई वांट टू बी लाइक अ कॉमन मैन. नो वन इज एज हैप्पी एज द कॉमन मैन. तो लोगों को भी वो समझना चाहिए. बट ये सब नथिंग हैपेंस ओवरनाइट एंड समटाइम्स इट इज नॉट इवन वर्थ इट. अभी मैं ये सबको बढ़ा के काफी कर सकता हूँ बट मैं आलसी हूँ या मुझे जरूरत नहीं है या मैं सोचता हूँ नहीं मैं मतलब I don't wanna make it big on social media. I just wanna stick to my quality and my network. How in 130 donors I raised 19 lakh rupees. So that is the
Hmm.
kind of work I would keep doing. And now I'm not even looking at crowdfunding anytime in the future. I might do some sponsored collaborations and all, but even in that, I never want to become a social media influencer. I would do rather some project basis and something more exclusive or niche. Maybe I would never be as successful or famous, but it's okay. Like no one is as successful as the happy one.
That's so well said. Like you're extremely humble man, and like I really like your mindset around a lot of these things. So I'm sure that a lot of people listening to this will make them think. Will make them think. So we are almost coming towards the end of our interview. So I would like you to tell us a bit about Sangharsh.
So Sangharsh is my campaign's name around Mount
Mm-hmm.
Everest. Like many of my audience are international, so uh, we tell them the story, which is also on my website, that Sangharsh is a word from the ancient language Sanskrit, which means hard efforts or struggle or try for something. And this is the story of Harsh's Sangharsh to reach
Mm-hmm.
the highest point on our 29,029 feet
Yeah.
from 0 feet above sea level near Mumbai. And my website is sangharsh.co. And during this expedition, I'm trying to promote and create awareness about something I feel for, something I care about. That is
Mm-hmm.
sustainable development. So United
Okay.
Nations has 17 sustainable development goals, out of which I picked renewable energy, solar energy. So my
Mm-hmm.
expedition is completely solar powered, and with which we are trying to promote solar energy as an industry, trying to make people think of making more conscious and mindful choices in everyday consumption, everything they invest in. That if I can be completely clean at the most hostile places on earth, they can make a lot of difference by making very small decisions but thoughtful decisions in urban environments, like avoiding single use plastic or anything, or going solar with their homes or anything. So
I
this
can
is
see
what
your
Sankalp is about in short, and they can Google me or my website uh, for anything else.
It'll be down in the description or right here somewhere. Yeah, so you're climbing not just for passion but also for environment. That's commendable, man. That's
I
amazing.
wanted to support something which I feel for. So I'm climbing
Hmm.
for my passion for mountains, but
Absolutely.
I can do something for some or the other cause. So I didn't want to pick something political just for the funding, like kuch bhi beti bachao beti padhao.
Hmm.
I wanted to do something which actually
Speaks to you.
I can relate to, and so I thought solar energy solves a lot of issues कि climate change के results हम mountains में जितना देख रहे कहीं नहीं देख रहे. So and
Hmm.
not from the environment perspective, but it also uplifts communities in the social and economic manner. कि if you don't have energy, if you don't have electricity, you don't have light, you don't have healthcare, you don't have education. So people in those remote villages or Himalayas lose 12 hours a day, and with off-grid solar energy. कि वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का लाइन आएगा तो कब वो आएगा, 5 साल बाद स्कूल आएगा, 10 साल बाद हेल्थ केयर आएगा. बट सोलार एक डेमोक्रेसी लाता है दैट वॉट एवर यू नीड यू कैन हैव इट फॉर फ्री. द इन्वेस्टमेंट इज देयर फॉर द इक्विपमेंट
Mm-hmm.
बट pays back very well. And actually, I'm an ambassador for an NGO named Project Chirag. So they
Mm-hmm.
have electrified over 500 villages. That is like more than 18,000 houses. So directly they uplifted around 1,10,000 lives. And now, even now, we are trying to electrify a village in Nepal. कि मतलब we'll electrify those 100, 200 houses.
That's amazing, man. That's very, very thoughtful of you to actually, do it for a cause that you believe in rather than something that would get you funding. That's amazing. So, yeah, we will be concluding this anytime soon. So, would you have any last words for the viewers? Anything that you want to leave with?
Just go for a run if you have never been in few years or lifetime. Nothing would make me happier. And if you do, just tell us in the comments, or if you ever need any help from me, anything from me, or you wanna say hi, I am on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. They can
That's
Google her.
amazing.
And
Yes.
I hope that I'll meet some of the viewers from this podcast someday.
I
Maybe
hope
some of
so
them
too.
will be going to Everest someday.
I hope so too. And I hope they don't stop running if they start running.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's so
it should
it's
be
a
a daily
small
thing.
them like I because this will even for creative people it makes a lot of difference. The most successful people usually take care of their health, and they even go outdoors in nature because it brings out a lot of creativity and productivity. The
Hmm.
most sophisticated corporate leaders also go in the Himalayas and climb, and
True.
they are like if you see even in Ironman triathlons and other endurance sports, most of the athletes are actually finance investment bankers or engineers or CEOs, VPs. So
Hmm.
there is something in it. So I think people should start with something like that, which doesn't even need money. Whichever city you are in, start with something like cycling, running, swimming, or anything, maybe badminton, but do something passionately, which brings you discipline in you, which improves your lifestyle and everything.
That's amazing. So thanks a lot for coming onto the show. This whole talk has been really amazing. Quite inspiring. I'm sure a lot of people who are actually going to see this are going to get a lot of value from it, and it's really going to make people think. So thanks a lot for coming here.
Thank you everyone for investing your time in us, and we hope to connect with you guys in the future sometime, maybe after Everest.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming onto the show, man.